Hello everyone. Uh, so after quite a long time, I thought that I should come live and talk about a very important and an increasing problem that many people are talking on nowadays because the way the things are going and how this scientific work and research is being is being reshaped, how the research process is being carried out, and the pace that this process is gaining across the world, and what now is known as the this publishing race. The essence of the research, I think, does not matter that what domain you are doing research in, or what is the discipline of research, whether it's a medical engineering or anything. I think the purpose is, and it should be, that it ultimately should provide some kind of benefit to the masses, or it should answer certain problems that the human beings or the subject of that discipline are facing. It should be productive. Like, if from medical science point of view, I'm talking that any kind of research, I think the main aim, main impact should be that it should make difference to the lives of our patients, and it should make the a difference in empowering the clinicians. But now that seems to be in a rat race. Everyone is racing for publishing, whether it be undergraduate students, postgraduate students, those seeking residency programs, or even then those of the senior clinicians are at faculty levels. So everyone is racing behind that. Should have dozen of publications. They should have as many publications a year as possible to get that race, to get ahead in certain positions or other things. So I think in this way, that essence gets, it distracted. People get distracted, and now the focus is on quantity rather than the quality and impact. And I would say that what I have been observing, though I'm not a very, neither a very senior clinician, nor I'm a very impactful a big research, but what I have seen, that after being involved in this learning and a bit training, I'm still a student, and I think everyone is a student throughout their life. So now this focus is to just get published. Do anything, just publish it somewhere, just add your name in publications, and just put those papers into your CV or into your portfolio, that I have published this, I have published this. So the question is that what the impact those publications are creating. If you are creating 5, 10, 20, there have been many cases now, they have been public, that people publishing hundreds of papers in a year, and even those people that died a year ago, and they published hundreds of papers after dying. So things like that, I think, now making this research process, a very, I think its transparency has been affected, its impact has been affected, and I think it's also wasting a lot of resources, not only in terms of money, but those people who are, in their any discipline, they should be working towards many other things, but now they have been, forced to go into this rat race of publishing and doing research, so many researches and publications. So I think the process should be neat and clean. And when we talk of the science and we talk of the research and its impact, I think it should be, it should not be, bound by many barriers. Like, now we talk about this, those publishers and those big journals, and you can see that if you find across a good study, I really found an impactful study, and you wish to read that, and just you open that paper to any publisher's website. I'm not, naming those people know, these big names, and they say that, okay, you pay us, or your institution should pay us. I know that there should be things, that there is a cost of everything, but I think the way everything is being, materialized, everything is seems to be a matter of money. That those people who are working, who are doing research, who are putting their day and nights, who are putting weeks, months, and years into doing research, bringing new things, so that could benefit the patients, that could benefit the masses, and those people who are putting energy. And once they are, doing that, once they brought something, they brought, did a research, and they brought something and just created that manuscript and report, and now to just make it published, that means to make it open to other fellows, to other people throughout the world in that discipline, who could actually benefit from that work and create differences in lives of their patients or their people. They are bound to pay money. They are bound to pay money in both cases. If you have done something good and now you are trying to just publish it, making it open to the world, but you have to pay for it. And it's not just a few thousands of rupees, a few dollars or pounds. It's it's in hundreds and thousands of dollars or pounds. That I think becomes very difficult at times. I think the one who works, the one who does everything, and still to get that published, to just make it open for other people, he or she has to pay, or those people has to pay. And that's a big money game. If you see, that's a $1 billion business now. So, and those who wish to read that paper, those who wish to read that research work, they also have to pay, other institutions have to pay. Now, what I have seen with some of the research journals, publishers, and what an attitude I have seen, that whenever you are opting a research to be published through a subscription based model, or you can say that when you're trying to publish that paper for free without any charges, and most of the times either those papers get rejected because the way they chose, they wish to publish it for free rather than paying the journals, that's the ACP, article processing charges, or APC. So if someone is paying those thousands of dollars of APCs or hundreds of dollars of APCs, then those papers are getting priority, those are getting published. It doesn't matter that what is the content there, what's the quality of content, what's the impact. But rather, if someone chooses a subscription based model, or does not choose that paying model, that they, okay, we are just trying to publish this paper for free, and this is our work, so the institutions that are paying, they can actually get those work to their people or employees or whatever, people following that institutions. So I think this is a very serious concern. I'm not saying that everything should be free and everything can be free, because obviously everything has a cost. But I think making the things so difficult for, especially for those who are doing the hard work, who are producing the research, who are doing, bringing the new things, and that's become a very challenging thing, because many people are doing good work, many people who have done a lot of work, but they are, very stuck when it gets to publishing that work. People are keeping those researches for years, months, more, without being published, because journals rejecting their paper. Sometimes, what because of this, many times on this, choosing the publishing, without paying the journals. If you're paying the journal a hefty amount, or hundreds of thousands of dollars, they are, publishing, and day by day many new journals are, being launched, and they just asking, give us money and we will publish it, without, a very robust peer review, or that justification, and that that process of, going through that, what is actually the quality and the impact of that research on the society, on humans, and that discipline. Now, one more thing that I recently, have experienced and have seen, and many people have started talking about this, that big publishers, they are, earning millions and billions of dollars, and they are not paying anything to authors and the peer reviewers, who are the people actually doing all the hard work. I'm myself also being doing peer reviewing for many years, and though I have just reduced it significantly, because obviously the you don't get so much time to do, to review someone else's work, give hours of reading to that work, and then thinking yourself and trying to analyze their work, and then contributing to making that work a better are more impactful, or to check the transparency of that work. It requires you a lot of time, a lot of energy, and many other things. But if uh, you are doing it without any rewards, or without any incentives, then I think it becomes challenging for peer reviewers as well, because they are the people who have got those expertise in that field by obviously doing a lot of work in that field, by doing research, by publishing. And obviously it's very big, becomes difficult to be available every time to see other people's work, and contribute into their work. So all those journals and peer reviews that are charging so much amount, so big amount, and they're neither paying the authors, not paying the reviewers. And even the peer review process that I have experienced, that I have seen and observed, that's also very much biased, because oftentimes the people that are peer reviewing a work are not from that discipline or field, and sometimes those comments or the revision that the peer reviewer asks, that they will seem to yell like a joke, that you have done a lot of good work. And obviously every work in this world, whatever the work you do, there is always a room for improvement, there's always a room for enhancing that work. There will always be mistakes, always will be some problems with that work, and that's natural. You just can't make everything 100% perfect. But when you see the comments or they you will say that, what bullshit is this? It doesn't make any sense. And that actually gives you impression that whatever the person has reviewed your work, or have just gone through, analyzed your work, either is not from that field, is not an expert from that field, or he or she didn't give so much time to understand what that work is about. And then the role of those people who are just governing the journals, like those editors, editor-in-chiefs, and whoever just sees your work, and it just analyzes your work for to see the whether that work suits that journal, the paper is meeting the requirements of that journal, before they just proceed your work for the peer review. Because peer review is a final process, because once the peer review either that approve your paper with minor revisions or major revisions, but once through one or more than one rounds of peer review, if your works gets accepted, then most of the times that gets published, or that should be published, if the peer reviewers are not making very harsh comments, or not going for major revisions, or just simply rejecting your paper. So I have seen that even the papers that are going through the one or more than one rounds of peer review, because your editor-in-chiefs and other people, they actually look at your work before forwarding it to peer reviewers, and they see that what's the suitability of this paper, and does that work follows the journal guidelines or not. And if they see that, okay, this checkpoint is passed, this check is clear, then they just forward it for peer review. I think then is the decision of whether this paper should be published or not, or does it needs any corrections, major or minor. I think that's the role of a peer reviewer. And what but we see that still, when you get through the peer reviewers, and your journal or your paper goes through the peer review, and it does not comes to have major issues with that paper, and you got some minor revisions, and the peer reviews okays your paper, and they don't get so many problems with their paper. But still, when after you see that, okay, you have passed the peer review, and when you just chose the publishing mode of getting published without paying. If you're not choosing the APC method of publishing, that you're not paying the journal to publish your work, even after passing that peer review, journals then rejecting your papers by giving some lame excuses and reasons that even the peer reviewer did not mention. Your paper have been through in the peer reviews. Peer reviews does not mention those points, does not mention those weaknesses, and suddenly when you see that your peer reviewers have just declared some minor revisions, you just do those minor revisions and everything seems perfect. And when suddenly you choose that, okay, I'm publishing through this subscription based or free model, I'm not paying, obviously someone who will read my paper will pay or the institution will pay, then here I think journals get biased. Here I think they feel that we should publish, we should give priority to those who are paying the journal for publishing. And I think this is the thing that I have observed. It is biased, it lacks the transparency, because if there would have been some problems with any research or manuscript, if there are some weakness and problems, I think the peer reviewer gets those points. The peer review process just points out those problems for the others to make those weaknesses either better or just get those weaknesses out of the paper. And but I think after you have passed the peer review, there are not many problems in the peer review. And still after that, if you get a big list of unnecessary problems that you never peer review, just never pointed out those points in those months long process of getting involved with journals. And when suddenly you choose that non-paying model of publishing, and then journals rejecting your paper on giving some lame excuses, I think this is where that this is alarming. That because that actually is not only hurting those authors that have put a lot of work, and they have been going into that frustration of months and years by going through the journal processes, and either the journals are not responding or they are just preferring to those who are paying, or there are the journals who are publishing every week or every fortnightly or every month and taking a lot of money. On the other hand, there are journals who are either publishing in few weeks to months by getting a lot of money, or just keeping you in loop for months and months, and then rejecting you suddenly on very lame excuses that you as a researcher think that, okay, this there is something fishy. So I think this process actually, I think because now many people are writing and many researchers has shown that people that are doing research in early careers, when they are the undergraduates or the residents at the early career stages, once they pass certain stage, they are actually not publishing a single paper in next 10 years. So I think this itself is, I think, self-explanatory. That that process of scientific research, carrying out that scientific research and then publishing, I think there are many barriers, there are many problems, there are many self-created biases, and I think the money is the big game here. Money is the big game here, and actually that I think here the credibility of scientific work, it loses. So I think it's high time that we should start speaking that this process of scrutinizing the research work, peer reviews, and this publishing, I think there should be some new innovations in that. So those people who are actually working, who are doing the research, who are doing all the hard work, and who are bringing something new or bringing something better to make a difference in practices, to make a difference in people's life, or to some change the practices, I think they should be given due they should be given that credit for that. And it's not like someone who is doing the hard work and he or she will pay to just make that knowledge accessible for others. And it is like you are doing all the stuff, you are doing all the stuff, you are putting every effort, and you brought came with something new, and after a long hard work, and now to just make it open for others, just to make help others and making it open for others, and you are the one who will pay and you will not get any rewards. And the same happens with the peer reviewers, these silent characters or background characters who are the pillars. Without peer reviews, the journals can't they publish and get the reports on those papers, and those people are doing a lot of work, and they are also not being given due neither credit, not they have been giving any money incentives. Like if a journal is charging thousands of dollars, they are from authors, they are taking all those thousands of dollars from authors, but they are neither subsidizing the authors in a very good manner, and on the other hand the peer reviewers also don't get a single penny from that money. So where does that money go? So I think there are many questions that should be raised, and I think now discussion has been open, and people are talking on this. I think there should be more transparency, and there should be more accountability, and I think this science should be kind of open thing, that if something good is happens in the world, if something better comes to the world, I think it should be available either freely or it should be available at a very low cost. And I think governments can actually play their part, and those all institutions or those organizations that have funds, they should play their part. So I think those people who are doing the hard work, they should get the due credit, and they should be rewarded I think for their work. So I think this is the small piece of talk that I intended to do today, and I hope that this many of you might have gone through this thing and have experienced or heard of. You can post your comments later on the stream, and I will follow, and I will try to come back soon with some other topic, and we will talk on that. Thank you.